Welcome to the CUS Utility Services General Orientation. Over the next 30 minutes or so, we will go over some key safety, environmental, and legislative requirements that you will be expected to understand as part of your pre-employment training. Please listen closely as some of these policies are specific and may be new or different from other employers. CUS Utility Services, also known as CUS, is owned by the Skitchison Indian Band. The traditional territory lies in south-central British Columbia. Within this territory are 4 reserves and 2 parcels of fee simple land. The main reserve, approximately 7,970 hectares, is located approximately 10 kilometers west of the village of Savanaw in the Deadmans River Valley. CUS has 2 offices, one located in Savanaw and one located in Kamloops. CUS goals and objectives: 0 injury, property damage, or damage to the environment. Provide and maintain a safe and healthy work environment for all workers on the worksite. Be proactive and take all reasonable steps to reduce the potential for incidents and ensure work is conducted in accordance with all client, contract, and legislated health, safety, and environmental protection requirements. The importance of safety is to ensure that all client and CUS employees, contractors, subcontractors, and visitors involved in the project are successful in completing their daily assigned tasks and assisting in overall completion of the project with a common goal of 0 injury or damage to property or the environment. Here at CUS, we value first and foremost safety. CUS works relentlessly to ensure the safety of our communities, customers, contractors, partners, and employees. We take a proactive approach to identifying and preventing safety issues. We take immediate action when a safety issue is identified and continually seek ways to improve safety performance. Integrity. We maintain truth in all interactions. We believe in doing the right thing and do not take the easy way out. Take accountability for our actions without passing blame to others and follow through on commitments. Respect. We value the contributions of others. Take the time to understand the perspective of others. Embrace diversity and inclusion, and treat everyone with unfailing dignity. Roles and responsibilities. The CUS Project Management Team, PMT, evaluates the ongoing overall health and safety of the project. The PMT facilitates a safe working environment for all personnel working on the project, completes a detailed project-level assessment of actual and potential safety risks associated with the project, incorporates potential mitigation strategies into project design, specifications, and schedule to reduce risk to personnel, initiates collaboration between CUS project management and client project management to determine appropriate corrective actions for challenging safety incidents. As per OH&S regulations, you have the right to know, the right to participate, and the right to refuse any unsafe work conditions that you feel could or does present an unacceptable risk to yourself or others' safety. If you encounter unsafe work conditions, stop work immediately and safely. Contact your supervisor or health and safety representative. All reports of unsafe work will be investigated, and work will not continue until we all come to a satisfactory resolution. Legislation is readily available to all workers. Copies of this handy guide are in each CUS safety office, as well as in PDF in your WorkHub portal. CUS has 0 tolerance for workplace discrimination, harassment, and violence. Harassment can include offensive jokes, slurs or name-calling, physical assaults or threats, intimidation, ridicule or mockery, insults or put-downs, offensive objects or pictures, interference with work performance. All personnel must complete CUS harassment and violence awareness in their training portal. If you feel you are being harassed at work or witness any harassment, please immediately report it to your supervisor, project management, or safety representative. Any reports of harassment will be taken very seriously and thoroughly investigated by our management team. Drugs and alcohol. Here at CUS, we strive to provide a safe workplace for all workers by reducing the risks associated with the inappropriate use of alcohol and drugs. To help us achieve this goal, we've adopted mandatory pre-employment, reasonable cause, post-incident, and pre-access drug and alcohol testing as required. This is a condition of continuous employment. The possession, use, or distribution of alcohol, cannabis, or illegal drugs in the workplace is strictly prohibited and grounds for disciplinary action up to and including immediate dismissal. Please disclose to your supervisor or safety representative any prescription medication that may alter your ability to perform your tasks safely. Workers are prohibited from remaining at the workplace if their ability to work safely is affected by alcohol, drugs, or other substances. Substance abuse training is required as part of your employment. There are resources to help you if you're struggling. Site-specific safety plan. CUS has developed specific safety plans for each project that define the key roles, responsibilities, and activities of a project and specific rules and regulations that we will adhere to. Provides an overall framework and describes specific requirements to ensure a safe worksite environment throughout the lifespan of the project. All CUS supervisors will need to have a copy of the site-specific safety plan on hand for each project as they are unique to each one. The use of cell phones while driving is prohibited on CUS projects, including the use of Bluetooth technology, hands-free. All drivers must pull over in a safe area to speak on cell phones. Seatbelts must be worn at all times. Hoodies or jackets with strings attached are not permitted on site while performing work. Firearms and weapons are prohibited on the CUS work sites for any reason. No worker shall possess any weapons or transport firearms in any vehicle, company or personal, while engaged in the employment of CUS on the project. No smoking or vaping in company vehicles or equipment. PPE requirements. While on site, all personnel must wear a CSA-approved hard hat, long-sleeved flame-resistant outer garments, CSA-approved safety glasses, 6-inch minimum height CSA steel-toed boots, gloves as per task, hearing protection over 85 decibels, and double hearing protection over 105. Class 2 Level 2 flame-resistant high-visibility coveralls or vest, lime green, yellow, or orange only. You are prohibited from sharing or uploading project-related materials, including project photos, incident investigation photos, and sensitive work areas. Additionally, CUS strictly prohibits the use and distribution of pictures, videos, and social media without prior approval from senior management. Failure to comply with these restrictions may result in immediate termination of employment. Vehicle and equipment inspections are to be logged and completed daily. If any deficiencies are found or repairs are needed, along with marking them on your inspection sheet, please let your supervisor know right away. Complete a visual pre-inspection of all hand tools and PPE prior to use. All lifting and rigging devices are required to be inspected prior to use. Please remove anything defective from service. One job site inspection is required per crew per week. One of the most important things to know is that CUS has zero tolerance for anyone who does not immediately freeze the scene of an incident or near miss and immediately report it to their supervisor. The only circumstance where we would not freeze the scene is when a regulator gives you permission to protect the health and safety of a person, aiding an injured person involved in the incident, taking essential action to make the site safe, or to prevent a further occurrence of an incident. What is a near miss? A near miss is defined as a potential hazard or incident in which no property was damaged and no personal injury was sustained, but where, given a slight shift in time or position, damage or injury easily could have occurred. It is an unexpected event that had the potential to cause injury, illness, or property damage, but did not, often due to chance or quick action. Near misses highlight underlying hazards and can help improve safety protocols in the workplace. Remember, after an incident or near miss occurs, we stop operations and tasks, freeze the scene or make the scene safe. If required, provide first aid and prevent further damage. Report to your immediate supervisor right away. Do not wait. Do not decide if it's reportable or not. We will make that call. Wait for the scene to be released. Environmental. Spills must be reported and cleaned up accordingly. 100% reporting regardless of quantity. Vehicles and equipment must be equipped with a spill kit. Mandatory 2 people required when fueling. Use a spill tray. If any archaeological artifacts or protected wildlife are encountered, work must stop, and it must be reported immediately to your supervisor. No refueling within 100 meters of any creek or body of water. Soil handling to coincide with all EPP practices. All debris and garbage is to be disposed of in yard bins. All appropriate environmental permitting must be in place. Smoking. Smoking or vaping is prohibited in vehicles or equipment. You may smoke in designated areas only, no exceptions. Designated smoking areas will be marked. Cigarette butts must be disposed of in appropriate receptacles and never littered on the ground. You may not smoke within 6 meters of any doorway, window, or air intake. CUS is fully committed to ensuring a safe workplace for both our employees and subcontractors. The prevention of work-related illnesses and injuries is our utmost priority. Our modified work policy and program are designed to provide injured employees with the chance to return to work at their full pre-injury capacity. Under the modified work program, employees have the option to either continue performing their regular job with necessary modifications, or when applicable, engage in temporary alternate work that is tailored to meet their specific recovery requirements. This customized approach considers the worker's capabilities and limitations and aligns with the recommendations outlined by their medical professional. An employee is considered a new worker if they have less than 1 year of relative experience or are under the age of 25. A worker may also be considered a new worker when new to CUS specifically. Your supervisor is responsible for assessing competency and removing a worker from the new young worker program. Driving. Perform a circle check before entering a motor vehicle to identify and assess potential hazards associated with vehicle condition, contents, and surroundings. Ensure that the motor vehicle contains the required safety emergency equipment applicable to the terrain route planned, e.g., appropriate winter driving accessories. WorkSafe BC has a list of suggested items when winter driving. Separate all cargo from the passenger area and/or secure loads to prevent movement. A spotter is required when backing up in a congested work area. Passengers, you are required to get out and spot for the driver. No spotter? A 360 vehicle walk around prior to backing up, a backup camera, and backup alarm are required. Our company uses a variety of equipment, and each one comes with its own hazards. As a worker, it is your responsibility to recognize the dangers around these pieces of equipment and how to control them. No worker or vehicle can enter the 6-meter danger zone without ensuring the equipment operator has acknowledged their presence and has indicated it is safe by eye contact and the thumbs up. Spotters must be affixed with a Class 2 Level 2 high-vis vest at all times. The danger zone is defined as any location within 6.0 meters of a piece of heavy equipment. Anyone operating equipment must be deemed qualified by a supervisor and have a competency assessment done. Here at CUS, only approved operators may operate equipment. Never perform a task outside of the tasks you were hired to do without first getting approval from a supervisor. A spotter with air horn is required for any equipment or large vehicle when crossing under or working in proximity of power lines or other overhead utilities. Only workers trained in rigging and hoisting and approved by a supervisor may do any rigging or hoisting. Prior to lifting, all slings must be inspected prior to use and load capacities checked. Lifting attachments must be annually inspected and tagged. Critical lifts will require a critical lift plan. Keep in mind that anything lifted over a live facility is automatically critical. Know your limits when lifting. Do not attempt to manually lift anything heavier than 50 pounds by yourself, and this amount should be reduced if the load is not ideally shaped and in a position to allow for ideal lifting conditions or the travel surface conditions are less than ideal. Prior to lifting an item, inspect the area where the object will be delivered or stored to verify sufficient space that is readily accessible and of sufficient construction to handle the weight of the object. Balance the load when possible. For example, if carrying handled containers, carry one in each hand. If carrying or lifting a box, try to distribute the weight of the items evenly over the whole box. Don't allow one side to be noticeably heavier than the other. Cargo Management Hazard Assessments, also known as CMHAs, are required anytime mechanical assistance is needed to load or offload. Mobile equipment blind spots. When you see this, the operator sees this. 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 Excavations. A competent person must inspect excavations and complete an excavation pre-entry checklist daily at the excavation itself, and it must be reassessed anytime conditions change. Excavation checklists must be kept at the open excavation and must be reviewed and signed by anyone entering the excavation. Anyone required to enter a trench over 1.2 meters or 4 feet deep, the safe point of entry and exit must be located within 8 meter or 25 feet of the workers, and the excavation must be safely supported or sloped to the entry and exit location. Power lines. Safe limits of approach must be adhered to. Appropriate signage and goalposts must be placed to indicate clearances when and where applicable. Spotters with air horns are required. Please keep in mind that if equipment or a vehicle touches or pulls down a power line marker, it is considered a high-potential near-miss incident. Know your clearance. Always use spotters. Go slow. Fire extinguishers must be inspected monthly, with both annual and monthly tags attached. Every month, please inspect, punch the tag, and shake your fire extinguisher to prevent the powder from settling or packing. Keep in mind that fire extinguishers have limited use. There is only about 20 to 25 seconds in a 20-pound extinguisher. To use a fire extinguisher, remember the acronym PASS. P-A-S-S, pull the pin, aim the hose, squeeze the handle, and sweep from side to side. Remember to aim at the base of the fire with a small sweeping motion. Sound the alarm. Ensure an escape route. Never try and extinguish a fire yourself if it is unsafe to do so. Buried facilities. Client, federal, and provincial regulations must be met, and all underground utility lines must be marked out prior to any excavating activities. Unsure is unsafe. Never dig before obtaining appropriate calls and replies. If a marker falls out, stop and call a professional to resurvey and remark the area. All mechanical equipment is prohibited within 1.5 meters of any underground facility, as per client ground disturbance specification and as stated on the ground disturbance permit. Lockout, tag out. A lockout device is a mechanical means of locking that uses an individually keyed lock to secure an energy isolating device in a position that prevents energization of a machine, equipment, or a process. Tag out is a labeling process that is always used when lockout is required. The process of tagging out a system involves attaching or using an information tag or indicator, usually a standardized label, that includes the following information: why the lockout tagout is required, repair, maintenance, etc. Time and date of application of the lock tag. The name of the authorized person who attached the tag and lock to the system. Every worker involved in the isolation will be required to have their own individually labeled lock. At no time and under no circumstance can someone remove another person's lock. The color codes for locating utilities, conduit, or rebar in concrete can present slightly different colors depending on the surface. Most often used are the colors red, yellow, blue, and orange. Please read and understand the survey codes. This chart will be found in the site-specific emergency response plans. Current social and political climates across the country have created the potential for protesters on our job sites. There is also a risk of angry landowners or nearby residents. The following points are to assist all parties involved in the project in the event of on-site protesters. Protester Interaction Guide. Do keep calm. Do maintain some distance. Do provide directives. This behavior is not appropriate and will not be tolerated. Do immediately notify project management don'ts. Do not touch or grab the person. Do not threaten charges. Do not yell or get angry. Do not get physically involved. Direct any and all questions or comments from the public to CUS management. Do not engage. The Energy Hazard Wheel is a vital part of our field-level risk assessments at CUS. This wheel is representative of the various forms of energy that pose potential to cause harm to people, property, or assets. The Energy Wheel is used as a hazard recognition aid when conducting hazard assessments. The program has identified 10 energy-based hazard sources: gravity, mechanical, motion, noise, pressure, radiation, thermal, biological, chemical, and electrical. Use this. Here at CUS, we take pride in the safety culture we've built and are continuing to build. We need everyone to work together to maintain our success. More safe work executed means more work for all of us. Thank you for attending the CUS General Orientation, and welcome to the team.